So hello everybody, all friends of low-code language Petriflow and Netgrif low-code platform. Today in this short lecture, we will complement the example that we created in the last lecture. Actually, if you remember what we did, we extended the original process where the customer could fill and submit a request with the name, surname, email, phone number, where email was a mandatory field, and the text of the request itself, it was also a mandatory field. Then also we had a data attribute or data field for an attachment. So we had the form that looked like this, and we shared this form in the workflow process in the tasks. So after the customer submitted the request, the employees of the registration desk could decide whether it should go to a legal department, technical department, or business department, or sales department if you want. And based on the decision, so if we choose, for example, it should go to legal department and it should go to business department, then after we made the registration, we moved the token in this place called waiting for legal, and in this place waiting for business, but we moved 0 tokens to waiting for technical, and therefore we expected that legal department will make a statement and the business department will also make some statement or maybe some other tasks. And after the both departments finished their duty, so we were able to answer to the client, to write a polite answer, and all the time the client could see the state of the submitted request. And how we did actually this split? So we used here the variable args. So we have 3 different variables: go legal, go technical, and go business. All of these 3 variables or attributes are of the type number. And we have to somehow set the numbers for these 3 attributes here in this task register by a employee of the registration desk. And how we did it? Actually, we used here 3 different boolean sliders associated with 3 different boolean variables. One was had ID decision legal, another was decision technical, and the third one was decision business. And if we actually change the state of one of these 3 buttons, what happened is actually in actions. And in actions, we can see that whenever we made this decision in set data event, after we made this decision, so we called a function which was also named decision with 2 attributes. First was the reference to that boolean variable, and the second one was reference to this number variable which we need to set to 0 or 1 based on the fact whether the decision is on or off, whether it's true or false. And the function itself was written here. The first parameter was actually this boolean slider, and the second one, or boolean attribute variable, and the second one was this number variable that will denote the arg variable arg multiplicity. And actually, if this department slider value was true, then we change the value of this arg to 1. Otherwise, we change the value of this arg to 0. So this was how we made this decision. And in this short supplement to the previous lecture, we will just actually try to use different data elements to make this decision. So we will still keep go legal, go technical, go business. We will keep the structure of the workflow itself. We just will add, we just will change this thing here. We will remove these 3 buttons, okay? And instead of these 3 buttons, we will use a new data variable, which actually will be multi-choice map. And we can take a list here. And as we said, because it's multi-choice map in using component list, it means that it will be here with some choices. And the fact that it is a multi-choice map means that we can add some options which are pairs. The first is the key and the second one is the value, and we can add 3 options. And what we actually will do, we will say that this is, for example, we'll have a key legal, the second will have key technical, and the third will have key business. And here values are just some strings that will appear here on these choices. And whenever this choice is selected or option is selected, then actually in the value of this multi-choice map will be this string. So the value of this multi-choice map will be actually a set, or a set of strings of these keys based on the fact which of them are selected. So we will see this is like some message or some text for display, legal department, and this is technical department, and this one is business department. So now we have actually legal, technical, and business as keys, and this as the values of those keys, and the value of the multi-choice itself is a subset of those keys. Okay. So once again, if we open it, we see that we have these 3 choices, yeah, and we can work with them. And the only thing we need to do now is that actually we need to change the values of go legal, go technical, and go business based on the value of this multi-choice map. Actually, whether the key is in the value means whether the key is in the list or in the set of the keys that are selected. So, and how we can do it, we actually can go to actions, and we can say, okay, here we have now new dataref multi-choice map, and we can say in this dataref multi-choice map, we actually will go here and in set a post phase of the set event, we will actually write this action. What we can do, we can actually go here to this multi-choice map and maybe rename it and say that, okay, the new ID will be department choice, in order to have a little bit better name, and also maybe change the title to department choice. And if we did it, we can go back in these actions, and we can say, okay, here in post, we will actually write that action that will set go legal, go technical, and go business number attributes based on the choices that we made in this multi-choice map. So first of all, we will use a if-else function, and we will say, okay, maybe we will, okay, well, maybe we will do not use the choice that we had here, but we will just use this data field, and we will say, okay, sorry, just go here. We have here this department choice, and we'll say, okay, if this key, remember that we had these keys and values. If key legal is actually in department choice value, remember, value of department choice is list of strings. So when this key, which is a string, legal, is selected, so this condition will be true. And in that moment, what we actually want, we want that at that moment, data field go legal will be set to 1, else go legal will be set to 0. So remember that this is a set event of this data reference. So, and it is in post phase. It means whenever somebody, employee of the registration desk, will check the box legal department, so in that moment the set event is triggered, and in that moment this condition is evaluated, and in that moment legal will be in the department choice value, and therefore we will set it to 1. But if we will actually either uncheck it, or we will check another choice, then or legal will not be in department choice value, so either we will uncheck it, or it is already unchecked, then this else will be executed, and go legal will be set to 0. And the only thing we need to do now is just to copy this piece of code and do the same thing for not legal but technical department. So we will say, okay, if technical is in department choice value, but instead of changing go legal, we need to change go technical. And in order to not make a mistake, I will take a go technical here, so it will actually make this mapping here, and I will just delete this go legal. So, and we will copy this and say, okay, otherwise we would change go technical value to 0. So it means it is the same code as here, just not for key legal but for key technical, and based on the key changing not go legal value but go technical value to 0 or 1. Okay, and we will do this same thing for the third department, and I believe it was key business. And if business is in department choice value, then actually we should take this away and give here a reference to a data field Go Business. Okay, so we will just need to copy now Go Business and replace Go Technical with Go Business, and we are actually done. Okay, yeah. So this is the action that we did. So instead of having three Boolean variables and three sliders or Boolean buttons, if you want, we have a multi-choice map element, and based on the fact whether the choice, which is represented by a key of that choice, is in the list of chosen keys, based on that we will set the respective variable Go Legal, Go Technical, or Go Business to 1 or 0. So, and if we did this, we actually could now remove these three buttons: Decision Business. We could remove Decision Legal, and we could remove Decision Technical because we don't need those sliders. Instead of them, we have this department choice, which is a multi-choice map. And in this way, we change the whole example, just replacing these three Boolean buttons with multiple choice with three different keys. Okay, we just can control whether the keys are there. Okay, yes, business is written good. So it should work now. We will export the XML. And now we will go to our demo. We will actually log in once more. So now the only thing we need to do is to upload the generated XML file. And so we have now the second version of the same process. And if we go here and if we copy this, so and now we try to go to incognito window and we use that link that we just copied. So a new instance of the request is created, and once we are filling the name, surname, email, maybe phone is optional. Please do some work. And we could also attach a file. And once we finish, we see that the request was submitted. And if it goes, if we go back and see all cases, we see that we already have this submitted case. Please do some work. And if we actually go to role management and say that we are the people at the registration desk, and maybe also legal, we see that we didn't give a role to business and technical department, but we know how to do it, similar to registration and PR. And if we go here, okay, we can do that. And if we go here to all cases, we see that now we have a task for registration. And if we assign that task, we see that instead of these three Boolean buttons, now we have this multiple choice in form of a list. So we could have also in form of a choice. Okay, and now we can actually, if we, for example, choose technical and business department, so what we actually did, now the value of this multiple choice map is a list of two strings. The first string there is technical, and the second is key. Second key is business. So we have these two key strings, technical and business. And if we did this, so the set action was called, and therefore the value of go technical and go business should be 1, but go legal should be 0. So if we finish the task, what we see, really we have to make statement of business and statement of technical department. So what actually happened if we went here and if we choose technical and business department, what happened is that this action was called, and because technical was in department when we checked in, so then the value was changed to 1, business value was changed to 0, but in both cases legal was not in chosen values, so go legal was set to 0, and therefore what actually happened, we can also simulate this, like what actually happened if we were here and with these two changes, we actually change the data on technical to 1 and on business to 1, and we finished. So we had tokens here, and therefore statement of technical and statement of business were enabled. It means green, and we see that this multiple choice works as we wanted. So and the last thing that we will do with this short complement is that we will take this net, and we actually will model a different situation. Now we could have like real OR, so we could choose more than one department. But what if you want to choose just one department? Do we have some kind of equivalent of this multiple choice map for single choice map, maybe? So the answer is yes. Now imagine that we would actually go here. Sorry, we will actually go here, and we would delete this. Yeah, and we would, instead of this multiple choice, use a single choice. So now we want to illustrate that we have something what we call enumeration map, and we, for example, can use now, instead of a list, maybe a select for this enumeration map. We can refactor the ID. We can say that this is the department enumeration, department enumeration and now only one of those choices should be chosen, but we need to add the options. So again, we will say, okay, the first one is legal, and this is legal. The second one is technical. And the third one was business. Business and business department. So instead of this multiple choice, we have now this enumeration map. It means we again have keys and values, but we can choose just one of them. So now the value of enumeration map is not a list of keys, but it's just one key. So it's just one string. instead of having here this department choice, we have here this department enumeration. So we will write an action for this department enumeration. We will go to set and in post, and here we will write an action. And in this action, actually, we would like to use some if-else functions again. So, and we will say, okay, and we will say, for example, if, and now we can use, we can actually use this enumeration map. So we will say if department enumeration value equals to the key. So because now we don't have set of keys, we just have that enumeration value is just one string, the chosen key, So now we will say, okay, if it is legal, then what we want to do is to set the go legal to 1, and we want to set the go because we just choose one value. We want to say set go technical and go business to 0. And instead of using here 3 different change values and doing that for the 3 possible choices, either legal or technical or a business, so we will go here, and remember, here we have this old function that we use when we have this first version of the example with just Boolean sliders. So we will use that, the same name of the function, we just will change a little bit its body, and we will say, okay, we will have, instead of having 3 different change values in that action, we won't have 3 different values here. So what actually we want to have here 3 different possible arcs. So we will have true arc that is true, like or either go legal or go technical or go business, arc true, and we can have 2 different false arc. We can have arc false 1 and arc false 2. Okay, and now here we will just say, okay, change value, and we will say, okay, instead of this data field, we will say when somebody is calling this function decision with these 3 parameters, so that means we will change that arc that is true. We will call it as a first parameter, and we will say, okay, we want to change it to 1, and this false 1, we want to change it to 0. Yeah, and the same thing we want to make with false 2, also to change it to 0. So this is our function, and if we have this function, so we actually can call this function. I will just make it a little bit nicer. And now, so imagine that we call this function decision, parentheses, and 3 real parameters, 3 different variables. Okay, so now we go actually back to that action, which is here, It was register action, and it was this enumeration. And here we actually can just call decision, and this decision has 3 parameters, and we will say here actually we want to have here 3 different, we want to have here go legal as a first parameter. We want to have here go technical as the second one, and we want to have here go business as a third one. It means that the first parameter will be changed to 1, and second and third one will be changed to 0, because this is what the functions say. The first parameter is changed to 1, and second and third are set to 0. This is actually what we do. Yeah. Going back to that action, and we need to do the same thing. Actually, we don't need this. We don't need this else. Now we just need to copy this and say, okay, if this department enumeration value is technical, then the technical should be first. Yeah. And that means it should be set to 1. And legal and business should be set to 0. And sorry. Now we will copy it again. And if this value is business, this key that was chosen is business, then the business should be at the first place, because business should be set to 1, and go technical and go legal should be sent to 0. So actually now we have the action, and we can export this XML, and we can go back to our interpreter, to a task, and we can upload the generated XML, which we did now. And if we did it, we actually can go here, copy this public URL, go to incognito window and open the new instance, and again just filling the form. Please choose just one department. And if we will finish this, and if we will go back to this a task, so we will see that we have a new case, which is this one. And if you now open this, and we will say, okay, please make me an employee of the registration desk and give me all other roles. So if we go here and open it, we see that we have a register task. And if we assign the task, we see that here now, instead of having here boolean sliders, or instead of having here a multi-choice map, we have here in form of a list. We have now here enumeration map, as we made it here, and we have this enumeration map if you see, we used actually component which is not list, yeah, which is not list. But if you remember, if we went here and choose that map, we choose component that is select. So there are different components, different possible appearances. Now we choose this select, and select is like actually opening the possibility to choose. And now we can only choose one of these three possibilities, only one. For example, we choose technical department. And what happened now actually, we were here, we choose here this technical department, and then this action was actually called, yeah. And because we took technical, so the function decision with these three parameters was called. The first was go technical, but first parameter, if you see here, is set to 1, and therefore the go technical was set to 1, and other two parameters were set to 0. Therefore, if we now finish the task, so only statement of technical is available or enabled to fire, because what actually happened, as we said, we can simulate this, when we were here, inside of this task, we actually choose this technical in this select component of enumeration map. Then the function decision was called, and it actually changed the first parameter to 1, and this go legal and go business to 0. Therefore, when we finished, the token was only moved here to that place waiting for technical. Here 0 tokens, here 0 tokens were moved, and therefore only statement of technical department is now enabled to be executed. So in this small video, or I would say completion of the previous lecture, we have shown two alternatives how to make choices. One was multiple choices with multiple choice map, and one in combination with variable arcs or variables that determine the multiplicity of those arcs. And the second one was for just single choice that we called enumeration map. So thank you very much. This is everything for this lecture. Have a nice day and be fine.